everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. You know, where we really get our hands dirty with the latest in tech.
Always excited to be back, digging into these stories with you.
Well, strap in, because today we're wading into a world of AI hype, data center domination, and a bit of a global tech showdown.
Sounds like a full plate.
Oh, it is. We're talking Tesla, Dell, and some pretty big moves from the U.S. that are shaking things up globally. But first up, Tesla's recent AI event. On the surface, super flashy, robots everywhere.
Right, they were really pushing the Optimus robot.
Exactly. But going through this article, it seems like the robots weren't exactly as autonomous as they, well, made it seem.
Oh, so we're talking about the teleoperation revelation.
Yeah, like a human was actually controlling them remotely. Definitely changes the story a bit. What do you make of that?
Well, it does make you wonder about the gap between, the image they're presenting and where the AI actually is right now.
Right, and it's not like Elon Musk shies away from big, bold predictions about self-driving tech.
Yeah, this isn't his first rodeo with that, and I think the market's starting to catch on a bit.
Yeah, the article did mention Tesla's stock took a hit after the event, something like a 10% drop. So clearly, not everyone's sold on these robots taking over just yet.
A healthy dose of skepticism never hurts.
For sure. But speaking of ambition, Tesla's not the only one pushing the tech envelope. This next article on Dell, they are all in on building the data centers of the future.
Oh yeah, Dell's been making some impressive strides.
It's not just about raw power either, though. That's definitely part of it. They're really emphasizing efficiency, like way more than I would have expected.
It's smart. Efficiency is becoming increasingly crucial, especially with data centers' growing energy demands.
Right. So they've got this new system, the Grace Blackwell Z9712, and get this, it's supposedly 25 times more efficient than their previous models.
Wow, 25 times. That's a significant leap. What's the secret sauce there?
Well, and this is where it gets really wild. They've got another system they're developing in Turin. Uses direct-to-chip liquid cooling to handle a massive 27,000 cores per rack.
That's some serious horsepower.
Yeah.
But direct-to-chip cooling. That's fascinating. We're talking about addressing the heat issue right at the source.
Exactly, and it lets them pack way more power into a smaller space, which, when you think about data centers, space is always at a premium.
Absolutely. And the energy savings alone must be substantial.
Huge, but here's the thing. Dell seems to understand that not every business needs that level of, well, intensity.
Right. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
So they're offering all sorts of cooling solutions, from air cooling to this liquid-assisted stuff, even heat capture.
So catering to a range of needs and budgets? That's a smart business move.
Right. It's like they're the custom tailors of data centers. And it seems to be working. Their second quarter results were really strong, and a big chunk of that growth came from their data center business.
It makes sense. When you combine that level of power with a commitment to efficiency, it's a compelling package. And it makes you wonder, what kind of doors does that unlock? I mean, think about the possibilities for AI, simulations, all sorts of data-heavy applications.
It's mind-blowing. But while Dell's building for this future, there's a whole other story playing out globally. And this one's about who controls the most essential ingredient in all this: the chips themselves.
This next article we're looking at feels like, I don't know, almost ripped from the headlines, like a tech thriller or something.
Oh, intrigue. I'm all ears.
Right, so it's all about semiconductors.
The tiny brains powering, well, practically everything these days.
Exactly. And the U.S. is making some serious moves to control, who gets their hands on the really advanced ones.
Ah, playing the chip card. I'm guessing China factors into this?
Big time. They're specifically trying to limit China's access, citing national security concerns and all that.
Right, because it's about more than just, like, who has the fastest phones, right? It's strategic. Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting. The article highlights this company, ASML. They're based in Europe.
ASML, rings a bell, but refresh my memory.
So they might not be a household name, but they are literally the only company that can make this really specialized equipment. And it's essential for producing these crazy complex chips.
Oh, wow. So they're like the gatekeepers.
Basically, it's called lithography, the technology. Super niche, but crazy important.
Huh. So even if the U.S. wants to control the chips, this European company has a lot of say.
Right. It's a whole global chess match. And wouldn't you know it, ASML just announced they're expecting a slowdown in orders.
Oh, really? That's significant. What's driving that, I wonder?
Well, part of it seems to be tied to some of their biggest customers. Intel, Samsung, they're having their own struggles keeping up with, well, how fast all this chip tech is
It's
advancing.
like a bottleneck effect. Everyone's scrambling, but the tools to build those next-gen chips are in high demand.
It's a lot. The U.S. trying to, control the flow for strategic reasons, then ASML over in Europe, and meanwhile, these tech giants are caught in the middle.
It highlights how interconnected this all is. We're talking geopolitics, cutting-edge tech, and yeah, even your average consumer is going to feel the ripples.
Oh, how so? What kind of impact are we talking?
Well, this kind of control, this uncertainty, it can lead to higher prices for anything using these chips.
Mm-hmm.
Phones, computers, even cars now.
Huh. There's that ripple effect.
It's a complex situation, no doubt.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, how we navigate this chip technology, who gets access, it's going to have a lasting impact, like way beyond just faster download speeds.
It's kind of mind-boggling when you think about it, right? Like these tiny little chips causing such a big stir.
It speaks to how deeply embedded they are in, well, everything. The tech, the global power dynamics, even our daily lives.
It really makes you wonder, like, what does all this mean for the average person just trying to keep up?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of, the next iPhone or whatever, but we got to think about the bigger picture.
Right, like those rising tech prices you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. And it goes even deeper.
Hmm.
Job displacement, ethical questions about AI, even the potential to make existing inequalities worse.
Wow, it's a lot to process. Feels like we need to be paying attention to this stuff.
100%. Knowledge is power, right. The more we understand, the better equipped we are to navigate these changes.
To make sure tech benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Exactly.
Well, I'd say we've given everyone a lot to chew on today.
We covered a lot of ground, that's for sure. From those Tesla robots to Dell's data center innovations and then, this whole global chip saga.
It's a wild world out there, and it's changing faster than ever.
And it's not slowing down anytime soon.
That's for sure. Well, to everyone listening, thank you for joining us for another deep dive. We'll be back soon to, dive into the next big thing.